Okay. So, okay, friends, we are talking about the am I audible?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. అందరూ మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి. So, okay, good morning. We are talking about the public expenditure. Okay, in the previous class, we discussed that various reasons to increase the public expenditure in the country. Okay, what are the different type of the reasons were there to increase the public expenditure was discussed in the previous class. Okay, and today, like due to many factors what we discussed in the earlier classes, the public expenditure is increasing day by day. To explain the growth of the public expenditure, there are many principles. Okay, there are many principles are there to explain, to increase the public expenditure. Okay, that is mainly there are two type of the principles are there. Two type of the principles are there. Based on these principles only we can understand the theories of the public expenditure. Okay, before coming to the theories of the public expenditure, we will try to understand some principles. So, to know the reason to increase the public expenditure. In the previous class, I told you some of the principles of the public expenditure, which was called canons of the public expenditure. So that that canons of the public expenditure can be explained that how the government has to spend the money. How the government has to spend the money on the various activities. To spend money in the government on the various activities, that type of the principles will be useful. But here, these two principles, one is Wagner's law of the increasing state activity, and another one is like Weismann-Peacock hypothesis. These are the two principles are there to know the reasons to increase the public expenditure. Okay, to increase the public expenditure. So, like one of the important principle is Wagner's law of increasing state activity. Okay, this is one of the most important principle.
Sir.
So, according to this principle, you know who developed this theory? Who developed this principle? Adolf Wagner. Adolf Wagner. So he was developed this formula that according to Adolf Wagner, he told that there are some inherent tendencies for the activities of the government to increase both extensively and intensively. Okay, according to this person, there are some inherent tendencies.
Excuse me,
inherent tendencies. అంటే పూర్వకాలం నుంచి కూడా వారసత్వంగా కూడా ఎప్పటి నుంచో కూడా ప్రభుత్వ వ్యయం అనేది జరుగుతూ ఉన్నది, అవి అలానే కంటిన్యూ అవుతున్నాయి అనేటువంటి పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ లో అతను చెప్పడం జరిగింది. సో అవి అనేటువంటిది ఎక్స్టెన్సివ్ గా ఉన్నాయి, ఇంటెన్సివ్ గా ఉన్నాయి. ఎక్స్టెన్సివ్ నథింగ్ బట్ whatever the inheritance tendencies of the public expenditure are there, they are expanding every day. Expanding. ఇప్పుడు ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకోండి. మనం పండుగలకు వచ్చేందుకు ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వినాయక చవితి తీసుకోండి.
సార్.
హలో
సార్ లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కాంబినేషన్ మార్కెట్ చెప్పారు కదా సార్. సార్ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ క్లాస్ సార్, బిఏ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్.
బిఏ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను ఇప్పుడు.
అవును సార్, ఇది బిఏ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ సార్. లింక్ బిఏ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టిల్లు.
సార్ థర్డ్ ఇయర్ సార్ ఇది. అతను ఒక్కడే ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ అబ్బాయి వచ్చినట్టున్నాడు.
ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ అబ్బాయి నువ్వు దీంట్లోకి ఎట్లా వచ్చినావయ్యా?
సార్ కాదు సార్, మీరు ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టిల్లు సార్ లింక్ ని.
నేను మళ్ళీ వెంటనే డిలీట్ చేసి కొత్త పెట్టా కదా. మీకు పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ క్లాస్ జరుగుతున్నది చూడి, నేను దాన్ని వెంటనే డిలీట్ చేసినా కదా, అది ఎట్లా నీకు దగ్గర సేవ్ అయింది?
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్, చెక్ చేసి
డిలీట్ గా పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ క్లాస్ జరుగుతుంది చూడు. నీకు నాకు డౌట్ వచ్చింది. ఓకే, అందరూ ఫైనల్ ఇయర్ లో ఉన్నారు కదా. ఓకే, సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వినాయక చవితి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకోండి. ఓకే, వినాయక చవితి ఉత్సవాలు, విగ్రహాలు పెట్టడం అన్నటువంటిది ఎప్పటి నుంచో జరుగుతున్నటువంటి ప్రక్రియ. కానీ ఒక 10-20 సంవత్సరాల క్రితము ఆ వినాయక చవితిని జరుపుకోవడానికి ప్రజలు ఎంత ఖర్చు పెట్టేవాళ్ళు, మరి అదే వినాయక చవితిని ఇప్పుడు కూడా జరుపుకుంటున్నాం. దిస్ మే బి కాల్డ్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్. ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ అంటే ఎప్పటి నుంచో జరుగుతున్నటువంటి కార్యక్రమాన్ని కొనసాగింపు అని అర్థం. సో ఇప్పుడు కూడా మనం వినాయక చవితి పైన ఖర్చు పెడుతూ ఉన్నాము. సో దానిపైన పెడుతున్నటువంటి ఖర్చు ఏమవుతున్నది? ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్. లైక్ ఒకప్పుడు పండుగలు జరుపుకునే వాళ్ళం, ఇప్పుడు జరుపుకుంటున్నాం. ఒకప్పుడు జరుపుకోవడానికి మనం ఎంత ఖర్చు పెట్టాము, ఇప్పుడు ఎంత ఖర్చు పెడుతున్నాము. లైక్ దట్. సో దేర్ ఆర్ సమ్ ఇన్హెరెంట్ tendencies. So that tendencies, that type of expenditure is expanding like anything day by day, and some of these called intensively. So more pressure. Okay, more pressure. There was a poverty in 1950s and there was a poverty even today. But in the power to remove the poverty, to eradicate the poverty in 1950s, the government may spend very little bit money. But today the pressure groups are increasing. There will be more pressure on the there will be more political pressure on the government. So there maybe to attract the voters, the government is intensively spending. So because of the awareness among the public, people are demanding this is the right. Okay, once upon a time, people was taken any scheme if the government was started. But today what is happening? The people demanding to start some particular programs. This is called intensively. So like the extensively and intensively, so the government expenditure is increasing. So that was this Adolf Hitler told that so there are inherent tendencies for the activities of the government to increase both extensively and intensively the expenditure. At the same time, with the development of the economy, okay, in the part of the development, the new functions and activities must be undertaken by the government, and old functions performed more thoroughly. Okay, in the development process, one side the government has to take the new projects, new schemes, new development activities are without impact on the old projects. Okay, that means the old projects we have to continue, the old schemes we have to continue thoroughly along with the new schemes, old schemes and new schemes. So for both reasons the government expenditure is increasing, we can say. So that is so according to this Adolf Wagner, so the expansion in the government functions and activities leads to the increase in the public expenditure. Okay, at the time of 1950s, the government role was only two. One is the maintenance of law and order, and the second one is what is called collection of the taxes. That was the only government functions in the olden days. But today, government activities are expanding like this. So the government government activities are expanding like anything. The more activities are expanding. So in the olden days, before 1950s, the government role was only maintenance of law and order and collection of taxes. Government was spending money only on these two aspects. But today the government is spending many okay, maintaining the law and order and collecting the taxes, welfare activities, development activities, defense activities, investment activities, financial support, subsidies, like many aspects the government is spending the money. So because so the expansion of the government functions today and the activities leads to the increase in the public expenditure. So according to Wagner, Adolfo Wagner. So like Adolfo Wagner was divided the expenditure into two types, like internal and external defense expenditure. One is internal and external defense expenditure. Internal expenditure, nothing but maintenance of the law and order, police. External defense, nothing but army, to protect country from other countries. Okay, one is maintenance of law and order within the country, and another is protecting of our country from other countries. So that is one type of expenditure, that is called internal and external defense expenditure. And the second is social progress and welfare expenditure. Okay, according to Wagner, these are the two type of expenditure. One is internal and external defense expenditure. The second is social progress and welfare expenditure, social development and welfare activities. So particularly in developing countries like India, so if you take developing countries like India, in India, so these two expenditures are more, but the government is giving more priority for the social progress. So in developing countries, the public expenditure is increasing for the social progress and welfare expenditure mainly. Today, every year, what type of the expenditure is increasing to our government? Social expenditure is increasing, welfare expenditure is increasing. So government is spending a lot of money on the welfare activities. So due to increase the welfare activities, to provide the welfare for the people, so the government is trying to spend a lot of money on the people. So these are the things was developed by the what is called Adolfo Wagner. So Adolfo Wagner, so he was the one of the principle to know that to increase the public expenditure. So according to Wagner, his law is his principle is called law of increasing state activity. So Adolfo Wagner, according to this person, there are inherent tendencies for the activities of the government to increase both extensive and intensive expenditure. And with the development of the economy, the new functions and activities are undertaken by the government along with old functions. Okay, old functions has to continue, and the new functions has to be started by the government. And the expansion of the government functions and activities leads to increase the public expenditure. So the public activities, government activities are increasing day by day. Because of that reason also, public expenditure is increasing. And Adolf Wagner divided his expenditure into two categories, that is internal and external expenditure, defense expenditure one category, and social progress and welfare expenditure is another category. So according to this person, particularly in the developing countries, okay, developing countries like India, so it suggested that public expenditure is increasing because of the social progress and welfare activities. Government is concentrating on the social development to decrease the inequalities among the people. Okay, to eradicate the poverty, government is trying to spend a lot of money. So that is called social activities or welfare scheme, welfare activities. So for that purpose, the government is spending a lot of money. So because the government is giving importance for the social activities and welfare activities, automatically the government expenditure also increasing. So that is the concept of the Adolf Wagner regarding the principles of the public expenditure. Okay, the second principle, to know the reason to increase the public expenditure. Okay, second principle, to know the increase of the public expenditure is called Peacock and Weizmann hypothesis. Peacock and Weizmann hypothesis, one of the important principle. It is more wider than the Wagner principle. It is more acceptable than the Wagner principle. Wagner principle also, okay, But this peacock and Weismann hypothesis or principle is more wider acceptable than the Wagner principle. So how the peacock and Weismann hypothesis or principle is saying? According to this principle, how the public expenditure is increasing? You will see. So here, the Peacock and Jack Weismann, these are the two people developed this principle to study the growth of the public expenditure through Peacock and Weismann hypothesis. Okay, their hypothesis, పరికల్పన అంటారు తెలుగులో, hypothesis అంటే వారు ఊహాత్మకమైనటువంటి పరికల్పన. So by the study of the public expenditure. So to know the increase of the public expenditure, they developed some concept. Their concept was known as hypothesis or their name called Peacock and Weismann hypothesis. Okay, this Peacock-Weismann hypothesis focused on the pattern of public expenditure, okay, pattern of public expenditure, and stated that public expenditure does not follow any smooth or continuous trend. According to Peacock and Weismann hypothesis, the public expenditure will not continue with smooth. Okay, the public expenditure will not follow any smooth public expenditure. So, according to these people, the public expenditure will continue with public expenditure takes place in jerks and steps, jumping. So, means up and down. Sometimes it will expand, it will increase like anything, and again it will come back. Again, because of some reason, it will increase. Again, it will come down. So, like jerks and steps. So, jerks and steps, it will increase. Like we can say, okay, the public expenditure, according to these people, so like it will increase. It will increase continuously, but not like smoothly. So it will increase like up and down, like jerks and steps. So immediately, because of some reason, because of some problems, the expenditure will increase like anything, and again it will come back. So like according to these people, the public expenditure take place in jerks and steps. This point is very important. Okay, the public expenditure will take place according to jerks and steps according to this Peacock and Weismann theory. So here, why the public expenditure will increase with jerks and steps? To know the reason, they developed, the Peacock-Weismann developed 3 separate concepts to justify this hypothesis. Okay, 3 concepts చెప్పారు. ఎందుకు ఆ విధంగా పబ్లిక్ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ జెట్స్ అండ్ స్టెప్స్ తో ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది అని చెప్పడానికి వారు ఊహాత్మకమైనటువంటి పరికల్పన డెవలప్ చేయడానికి దే డెవలప్డ్ ది 3 కాన్సెప్ట్. One is a displacement effect. Okay, because of the displacement effect, the public expenditure will increase with jerks and steps. And the second one is inspection effect. Okay, with the inspection effect also, so this will be increased like that. And another is a concentration effect. Okay, concentration effect is also one of the reason how the public expenditure is increasing with jerks and steps. So this 3 concept was developed by Peacock and Weismann to know the increase of the public expenditure with jerks and steps, not smoothly. Okay, with jerks and steps. Like according to the Peacock-Weismann hypothesis, due to some social and other disturbances in an economy, there is a need for increased expenditure as the existing public revenue cannot solve the disturbances. Okay, generally there will be some revenue to the government and there will be some expenditure. For example, existed public revenue may be, for example, take example around 1,000 crores is there. Okay, the government expenditure normally spending around 900 or 1,200 crores or something. But here there was some disturbances was started in the country. Some social disturbances was started in the country. Okay, that may be like a pandemic today what we are facing. Okay, because of this reason, unemployment was started in the country. So when unemployment was started in the country, the government has to take care of that people. Okay, to take care of that people, the government has to spend a lot of money. Okay, to spend the money, automatically the expenditure will increase. Like that. So that's why here, due to some social or other disturbances, it may be social disturbance or other disturbances. Okay, in an economy, there is a need for increased expenditure as the existing public revenue cannot solve the disturbances. So whatever the revenue is there among the people with the government, the revenue not it cannot be solved. It cannot be sufficient. That's why what the government will do. Government has to spend more money. To spend more money, automatically the government will collect more taxes from the government. So government has to increase the revenue. Whatever the revenue increased by the government, the total revenue will spend again to the public, to the society, to the country. So like that, the public expenditure will increase. So the fiscal activities of the government rise step by step, successive new higher level during the span of decades to meet the successive social disturbances. Okay, so step by step, the government will spend, government will increase the revenue and expenditure. Fiscal activities nothing but both revenue and expenditure. It will increase step by step. Okay, in the over period of time, maybe within the 5 years or 10 years, whatever the disturbances was created, the disturbances can be solved. Okay, today there is a pandemic situation in the country. So this pandemic situation cannot overcome within 1 year or 2 years. It may take some time, maybe 5 years or 10 years. So within this span of period, maybe 5 years or 10 years, the government will take some steps. Will take by step. So last year government was announced Atmanirbhar Bharat program. Okay, in the part of this Atmanirbhar Bharat program, government was trying to provide some financial incentives to the micro small industries. Okay, like agriculture development. So like migrant people, poor people, like step by step it was taken by the government. It is taking the government and trying to solve the problems within a span of the period, maybe 10 years, like a decade. So the span of the decades to meet the successive social disturbances. So whatever the disturbances was created in the economy, so that disturbances can be dissolved in the decade, according to the Peacock and Weisman theory. Okay, to know that one, they developed 3 concepts: displacement effect, inspection effect, and what is called concentration effect. Already told you. Okay, what is displacement effect? So what is a displacement effect? So displacement effect nothing but, according to Peacock Weisman, so when a social disturbances or emergency occurs, some emergency occurs, the government raise taxes. Government definitely will raise the taxes to generate the income. Okay, raise the taxes and to increase the revenue and increase the public expenditure. By increasing the taxes, okay, whenever there is a social or other emergencies who are created or occurred in the country, immediately the government will try to increase the taxes and will try to increase the revenue and also it will increase the public expenditure. to meet that disturbances, whatever the disturbances were created in the country, to meet that one, okay, the government will do like this. Okay, this creates a displacement effect. Okay, it will create the displacement effect by which lower taxes and expenditure are replaced by the higher tax and expenditure levels. Displaced from lower to higher. Because of actually government is spending less money and less revenue with lower taxes. But because of this disturbances, the government wants to spend more money. To spend more money, the government has to earn more money. To earn more money, the government is increasing the taxes. So that's why because of these disturbances, taxes are increasing from lower to higher. Expenditure also increasing from lower expenditure to higher expenditure. So this is called displacement. So by which the lower taxes and expenditure are replaced by the higher tax and expenditure levels. However, after the disturbances ends, okay, after the disturbances ends, the newly emerged level of the tax tolerance makes the people willing to support higher level of the public expenditure, since it is capable of bearing heavier tax burden than the before. Here, what happened? Okay, once the problem was ended, because of the social disturbances only, we increase the taxes. But after 10 years, the social disturbances may be ended. But automatically the people will almost ప్రజలందరికీ ఏమవుతుంది ఆ భారం అన్నటువంటిది మోయడం కామన్ అవుతుంది. So people, so their burden will continue. Okay, they feel that so they are able to pay the taxes. They are capable to pay to the taxes. That's why automatically they will continue the taxes. So that is called a displacement effect. So as a result, the new level of the public expenditure and the public revenue stabilize. కానీ ప్రజలందరూ అలవాటు పడిపోతారు కాబట్టి కొత్త పనులు కట్టడానికి కొత్త ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ బేర్ చేయడానికి అలవాటు పడిపోతారు, అలా కంటిన్యూ అయిపోతూ ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి అలా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయ్యింది చూడండి, ఒక్కసారికి ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది, అలా స్టెబిలైజ్ అయ్యింది. మరి అందరితో ఆగదు, మళ్ళీ ఒక డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఏదో క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది ఒక 10 years తర్వాత. Definitely again there will be some social disturbances will be started. Whenever that social disturbances will be started, automatically again the expenditure has to increase the expenditure, again the revenue has to increase, again the taxes will increase. So as a result, the new level of public expenditure revenue will be stabilized, but after soon stabilized by another new disturbances which causes another displacement effect. Like always it will go like that. So it increase like that. It will increase. So it will increase like that only, as I told them. The public expenditure is going to be increasing like that. Because of some social disturbances, the higher taxes and expenditure are increasing. Higher taxes and expenditures are increasing. So from there, stabilize the economy immediately again, so it will increase again. See, here it was stabilized like that, again increasing. So increasing like that. So with jerks and steps like that, the expenditure is going to be increasing. So like one more concept we developed, that what is called inspection effect. So what is inspection effect? So even there is no new disturbance. In case of in the displacement effect, there is some disturbances, maybe social disturbance or emergency or pandemic, health emergency, whatever may be reason, there will be some disturbances. But in case of the inspection effect, even if there is no new disturbance, no disturbances in the economy, so even though there is no new disturbances, there is no strong motivation to return a lower level of the taxation, as the increased revenue can be used to support a higher level of the public expenditure. There are no motivation, no everything. But here, whenever there is a development take place, automatically the government revenue will increase. When the government revenue will increase, automatically government will motivate to increase their expenditure also. ఆదాయం పెరుగుతున్న కొద్దీ ఎవరైనా ఖర్చు పెరుగుతారు, ఎటువంటి సోషల్ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ లేకపోయినా కానీ మన ఆదాయాలు పెరిగే కొద్దీ మన ఖర్చు కూడా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. లైక్ దట్ ప్రభుత్వం యొక్క ఆదాయం పెరిగే కొద్దీ డెవలప్మెంట్ ప్రాసెస్ లో ప్రభుత్వానికి ఇన్కమ్ పెరిగిపోతూ ఉంటుంది. ఇన్కమ్ పెరుగుతున్నప్పుడల్లా ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ కూడా ఆ ప్రభుత్వం ఆటోమేటిక్ గా సో ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది అనేసి మనం ఇక్కడ చెప్పవచ్చు. సో therefore the government expands its fiscal operations partially due to disturbance and partially to expand the economic activity and to take up the new functions that were earlier neglected. కాబట్టి ఆదాయం పెరుగుతున్న కొద్దీ ఎప్పుడైనా ప్రభుత్వం నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేసింటే అటువంటి అంశాలపైన నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ప్రజెంట్ యు నో దట్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ ఈస్ స్పెండింగ్ ద లాట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ ఆన్ ది ఇంక్లూజన్. So once upon a time the government was neglected some areas or some people, some sections of the society in the country. To develop that sections, that society, that people, that areas the government is developing. For example, whenever the government increases, government will try to develop the backward regions. To develop the backward regions, government is going to spending a lot of money. Infrastructure development, social development, education development, like all these activities will take up. To increase that activities, automatically the government expenditure will increase. So therefore the government expansion is the fiscal operations partly due to disturbances, maybe some type of expenditure will take some disturbance because of the disturbances, and partially to expand the economic activity. Government will try to expand the economic activity and take up the new functions that were neglected in the earlier phases. So in the earlier, and the concentration effect. Okay, the concentration effect nothing but when an economy is experiencing the economic growth, there is a tendency of the central government's economic activity to grow at a faster rate than that of the state and local government activities. Okay, whenever the development activity is taking place, local level development activities taking place, state level development activities taking place, then central government will think that more than the state level and local level, their government, their development has to increase. Okay, to take up that aspect, automatically, so they will take some part. Government will try to spend more money. Okay, this is known as the concentration effect. Concentration effect ఏం లేదు, రాష్ట్ర స్థాయిలో స్థానిక స్థాయిలో డెవలప్మెంట్ కన్నా కేంద్ర స్థాయిలో జాతీయ స్థాయిలో ఎక్కువ ఖర్చు పెట్టాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం ఖర్చును పెంచడము అని అర్థం, which is called concentration effect. So it is related to the political setup of the country because see ఒక యూనియన్ స్ట్రాంగ్ గా లేకపోతే స్టేట్స్ ఇండిపెండెన్స్ ఎక్కువైపోతే lot of disturbances may be created in the futures. So that's why always the center should be strong. To have the center strong, to have the political setup of the country strongly, the central government will take the initiative to develop more than the state level and local level. So this is known as the what is called concentration effect. Okay, because of the displacement effect, inspection effect, and what is called concentration effect, the government is trying to spend the lot of money. So because of these reasons, the government expenditure is increasing with jerks and effect. So that's why, so this effect is called Peacock-Weismann hypothesis. So the Peacock-Weismann hypothesis of the government spending trend is more convincing than the Wagner's hypothesis. So we discussed Wagner hypothesis also, Wagner law of increasing state activity. So when you compare to this Peacock-Weismann, it is more convincing than the Wagner's hypothesis. The natural course of the advancement and the structural changes in the economy, leads to constant and systematic expansion of the public expenditure. So an increase in the public expenditure can also be accreted to urbanization, population growth, awareness of the civil rights, awareness of the duties by the state government, etc. So all these points are very important. So like to understand okay, this concept. That is this Wagner's theory and Peacock-Weismann theories. These are the two principles to know the reason to increase the public expenditure. Okay, in the previous class, we also discussed about the canons of the public expenditure. They are also called principles of the public expenditure. But they are the principles of the public expenditure to suggest to the government how the government has to spend money. But these are the two principles are saying that why the public expenditure is increasing. Okay, this is principles. Wagner and Peacock-Weismann. Peacock-Weismann is very important for the examination point of view. Okay, please understand this one. Okay, in the tomorrow class we will discuss the theories of the public expenditure. We have some theories of the public expenditure like social balance theory, like voluntary exchange theory, the model utility analysis theory. So these theories are there. The tomorrow class we will try to discuss these theories of the public expenditure.
Sir,
Okay, tell me.
సార్ ప్రజెంట్ శ్రీలంకలో ఎకనామిక్ క్రైసిస్ జరుగుతుంది కదా సార్, దాని గురించి చెప్పరా కొంచెం? శ్రీలంకలో
Okay, 10:40 ఇది ఎండ్ అయిపోతుంది 40 minutes కు. Okay, we'll discuss tomorrow. Definitely I will explain. Okay.
ఓకే ఓకే
ఇప్పుడు కట్ అయిపోతుంది 10:40 అయిపోయింది కదా, కట్ అయిపోతుంది.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay.